So we just arrived at a cocoa farm, which is behind us over there.
Yes, and there's a guide who is going to bring us inside, and we go around and see how the process is going through. So let's go and see.
This is one of our cocoa trees, and whenever a cocoa tree is about to produce, it starts with flowers. Right beneath the trunk of the tree, throughout the branches, every part, there will be a cocoa flower. So the moment the flower opens up, then the pod develops out of it very tiny. It grows into stages until we have a matured cocoa pod. So from the flowering plant to a matured cocoa pod, it's taking us 6 months.
6 months?
Yes, until it becomes matured. But for you to have it to become yellow, it takes another 3 weeks.
Okay.
But for you to have a full-grown tree also is 7 years. So if you are cultivating this type of cocoa, you need to wait for 7 years, 6 months, and 3 weeks before you start harvesting. Because cocoa starts with flowers and it comes at any part of the tree, when it's time for harvesting, we don't need to climb the tree. Because the moment you climb the tree, you'll be damaging the flowers. So we don't climb a cocoa tree. But we rather use a tool, that is a stick with a sickle. If not, when you have a pod at a level like this, you can use your hand by twisting it for a while and it's going to come off from the tree. That is another method of doing the harvesting. In every cocoa farm, we are having permanent and temporal plants. The permanent plants we have here is that of avocado trees, mango trees, orange trees, and soursop trees. This is a griseedial plant. It is serving as a shading plant to cover up the cocoa because cocoa doesn't need too much sun shining on them directly. Let's get to where we are having some of the dried cocoa beans. Then we start with the process. Okay, so we are here at a point where we have some of the dried cocoa beans. So these beans have already been fermented and dried up. So they are ready to be sold out for the production of the chocolates, cocoa powder, brown gold, and many more. But before we get this, the beans inside the pod, they are white in color. So we need to do the fermentation process to change the white beans into becoming brown, get the taste and also the aroma. So we first of all harvest this from the whole farm. Go in for either plantain or banana leaves. Because they are broad, those are the leaves we use for the process. We are supposed to also do the process on the ground. So this is just a demonstration, that's why I'm doing it up here.
Okay.
So let's take a pot and strike it open.
Okay.
So So this is how the beans in every cocoa pod is arranged. The beans in every cocoa pod ranges from 1 to 55, not more than 55 and not less than 1. And this also can be taken in as a fruit. It tastes like mango or soursop. So we are going to try. Please, we don't chew, we don't bite. When you chew or you bite, it's bitter. So we're just going to suck on it. When you're done, you bring the bean out. So let me go first.
Are you enjoying it, bro? I think I take some too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really juicy.
So when you're done,
For how long are we sucking it?
for as long as you can. Yes.
So non-stop.
The juice until you got the juice, so you throw it away.
So what happened is, we have to bring all the beans out onto the leaf. Then we start with our process. I can see you've enjoyed a lot of the bean.
Yes.
So let me take part of it and give you part of it. So you're going to take this whilst we are learning, then you enjoy.
Okay.
Yes, so that's
Thank
for
you.
You're welcome. So we put the beans on the leaf, then we'll have to cover it. Fermentation starts with darkness. So the moment we cover, fermentation begins. But during the fermentation, we don't allow air to go through the beans. Otherwise, the beans will start to germinate. Looking at the farm, we are not having space to plant new trees. So to prevent air from entering the beans, we put some sticks and stones around it to keep it airtight. So we cover it firmly. We leave it in the farm for 3 days.
3 days.
The process is supposed to be done for 7 days. But on the 3rd day, the farmer comes around. Open up the beans. We are having a placenta that keeps the beans together.
Yes.
And we need to separate the beans from the placenta. It's very much easy to be removed on the 3rd day. So this is our cocoa placenta. And after taking this off, we need to put the beans back together.
And these are the babies, so the placenta are the babies.
Yes.
Okay.
So we put the beans back together in a heap form because we need heat in doing this process. Cover it again with our sticks and stones. Leave it for another 2 days, making 5 days. Now on the 5th day, the farmer will notice that the surface of the beans has turned from white to brown. But because it's in a heap, when you go in beneath about 4 inches, that place is zero fermented. So you need to mix the beans up. So we have some couple of beans down here. You see some of them has turned brown. Others are also white. So at this point, we need to mix them up.
So bring the
Yes,
white one
it's very
down.
hot. The inner part is very, very hot. So we need to mix them up so that all the white ones will become brown. After mixing, we put them back together in a heap form. Then we'll have to cover it again for the last 2 days.
Okay.
So the process is done for 3, 2, 2, making 7. And on the 7th day, everything will change to become dark brown. But they are still wet and we need to dry them. That is when the mat comes in. So with the drying, we are supposed to do them in the house. So this is the mat we use for the drying. This mat is made out from a raffia tree. They've tied it with this rope in such a way that when it's about to rain, you can even roll them. So please take this. You can just roll the mat up like this. Put either rubber or roofing sheet on it to prevent the beans from becoming wet. Because whenever they are wet, you're going to lose your price at the market. So depending on how the sun is scorching, roughly 2 to 3 weeks, your beans dried up to become this. This is what we are going to use in terms of becoming the chocolate, cocoa powder, brown gold, and many more. Now, the process that we did, everything is done manually. But when the beans get to the factory, machines are going to be applied to it. Whatever they are going to do is to peel them. The seed inside is what they need for the chocolate. When they are really dry and you crumple them, the husk will be coming off. If not, machines are going to take off the husk. And after the husks are being peeled off, we are going to get the cocoa nib. And this is what they grind into powder. Mix it with sugar, butter, any additive to bring out the end product. And this is classified as 100% dark chocolate. So I hope you love chocolate.
Yes.
Is it the milk chocolate or
Yes,
the dark
the
chocolate?
milk chocolate. The
don't
dark
like
chocolate
dark
is
chocolate?
too bitter.
I like the dark.
Okay, so take this,
And chop it.
break it into 2, smell it, and look out for the color inside.
It really smells
Let me
like
see.
dark chocolate, man.
Yes.
What's the one? Let me see, bro.
Man, this is really chocolate, bro. Directly.
Yes. So this is 100% dark chocolate. You can chew everything. It's good for those suffering from high blood pressure. It boosts your immune system, gives retentive
Only
memory.
this half.
Not only this half. So you can get a couple of them for yourself.
Eat all them, all of them.
You just blend them into powder. Early in the morning, you just take 2 teaspoons of it, add warm water
For
to
it,
it,
it's not
and
too
drink
bitter.
it. Yes,
Not too bitter.
it's not too bitter.
Yes, true. I expected it bitter.
No, it's not too
Sure.
bitter. Now, in cocoa farming, everything is useful. There is nothing being wasted. So the pod here, after we take the beans out of it, we give this to animals like goat, cow, pig, and sheep. They love to feed on this. When we leave them in the farm and they decompose, they come in as organic fertilizer. But when they dry up, they turn out to become black. And this black pod here, we have a soap called the black soap.
Ah, it's
This
made
is
of
what-
this.
Yes,
Ah,
we use
okay.
to making black soap. For you to prepare the soap, you get a lot of this, which is well dried. You burn it into ashes. Collect the ashes and add water to it. Afterwards, you sieve it, set it on fire, add either palm oil or palm kernel to it. A little amount of caustic soda to be added. You stir it until it becomes very thick. Then you can shape it in any shape you want. You have your soap for bathing, which is good for the skin, for skin rashes, for washing of the hair also. So nothing is being wasted in a cocoa farm.
So do you also have cocoa cream for the skin?
Cocoa what?
Cream.
Yes, the pomade.
The
We have
pomade,
it.
yes.
That one comes out from here, the hacks. These
Ah,
particular
okay.
ones. The
The skin.
hacks, yes, they take out from the skin.
Are you having it here?
They'll grind this into powdered form. Then the bean that you chew, this one too, they grind
Yes.
this into powder, extract oil from here, add it to this. Add more additives to bring out the cocoa butter we use on our skin. There is an alcoholic beverage that we also get out of cocoa. That is the cocoa liqueur, cocoa gin, cocoa wine, and also cocoa brandy. And that will be coming out from the juice around the seed. That is what goes through another process before we get those alcoholic beverages. Now, if you are a cocoa farmer, or if you want to become a cocoa farmer, you are not allowed to plant this because this is not going to germinate. The fermented ones are also not going to germinate.
So we need the fresh ones.
We plant just one seed. The reason why we plant the fresh one is that when the beans are fresh, there is a color in there, which is purple. This is the purple color. We are supposed to change this purple color to become dark brown. And also, the white substance here is the embryo, going to develop into becoming a full-grown tree. Now, from here, the embryo is dead. So if you plant this,
no way,
it's not going to germinate. You see?
Everything
it's not going to germinate. Yes. So the fresh one is what we plant. And when you are going to sell out your beans also, they check out for the color inside the bean. If the color is purple, it's not classified to be quality. So either they reject it or they patronize it at a low cost. But the color, if it's brown or dark brown, you get your full payment on that. So that determines the quality of Ghana cocoa beans.
Because it's full black.
Yes, dark brown.
Okay.
Yes. So that is it about cocoa. Do we have any question?
I have a question. Do you think, I wanted to ask about this color, the purple color.
The purple color?
Yes. If, are there some of them which they are dry like this and they are still having the purple color?
Yes.
Really?
That is those who don't do the fermentation well. The fermentation is supposed to be done for 7 days. Yes. You see the fermented beans down there? When I open the bean up, it's still purple in here. So it's the sun that is going to help the beans out. So you see, this is a bit more purple. Yes. It's the sun that we are going to use to drying it that is going to change the color. So if you don't do the fermentation well and the sun drying of the beans, you are not going to get a dark brown color. Some people get the beans like this, set them in an oven to dry up, and you're not going to get the inner part to be dark brown. You get the outermost part turning brown, but the inner part will still be purple, which is not quality. Yeah.
So it takes time.
Yes, everything takes time. Everything is also done manually. We don't have any machines that we use in doing the farming process like this.